one, I understand where Freddie Kitchens is coming from the standpoint. It was pouring cats and dogs in Foxborough. It was not a good black girl hair day in Foxborough. So I understand it. This is why they were going to run the ball. On the other hand, I was in the locker room standing beside Odell Beckham right when he said that. And he feels like, despite the fact that it was raining, he could take Stephon Gilmore, the guy who's considered the best shutdown corner in the league, and still get his separation and still be productive. Now, yes, he did drop a ball or two. 5 out of 7 is still good efficiency. Yeah. He feels like if they would have come to him more, he would have done even better. So here's what I'm trying to say to the Browns. Although I do believe they had an excellent game plan prior to Chubb fumbling all the time or whatever in the beginning of the game, you have to make sure that the leaders of your team, the people who are the vibe carriers, are engaged because they transfer that vibe to everybody else.
Correct.
And so if he's feeling like that, you don't want that to permeate. So you got a massage over here. You know about that? Okay, Mr. Married Man. Sometimes you just got a massage. Honeydew, yes, you're right. Okay, just to make things happen.
Absolutely.
That's a really good point. And since you're coming on, we did some actual research for this segment. We usually don't do that. We just let numbers get in the way of our
Okay.
But if you look at Odell Beckham Jr's
Lord, let me see.
through 7 games in the last 5 seasons, these are just his targets.
Yes.
They seem to have depleted a little bit as time goes on, but he's at 59, and last year he was at 80. Does that tell you anything?
Well, it tells me that right now he is not on pace to get the 1,000 yards in the way that he would want to. And one thing that I do know is very important to Odell Beckham Jr. because we speak, legacy is important to him. Not only obviously team success, which is obvious, okay, so let's make sure that's underlined, but he wants to be among the greats.
Of course
so
he
being
does.
off pace for what he knows that he can do is not something that makes him happy. So he's not saying let's do something outside of what will make the team win. He just feels like coming to him more, proving to everybody that he can take on Stephon Gilmore also would have helped, perhaps, the situation as well.
And the elements will be a lot better this weekend. And as you both know, you want to commit suicide, you touch a sister's hair. So
that's right. And where's my Beyonce winning here? Y'all know better than that.
So he did something after the game that had Jacoby and I trying to figure, was it a boss move or a soft move?
Oh, what do you think?
The GOAT cleats to Tom Brady. I felt like it was a soft move.
GOAT hair cleats.
Why?
I did.
Why?
I did, because Baker Mayfield is his guy, right? We just lost the game. I just felt like that stage wasn't the time to do that kind of grandstand.
So, why is it a grandstand? Is he not the GOAT?
Well, I'm biased.
Okay, because
he went to Michigan, he has 6 rings. So yes, he deserves to be in the conversation.
Yes.
But it's maybe I'm just being an old school player.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just being an old bitter guy. What do you think?
I think that he's not necessarily sure when he's going to see Tom Brady in person again. And this was a good opportunity for him to pay homage because he is a student of the game. He appreciates the history of the game. And this is somebody that he's dreamed of playing because Tom Brady's been in the league since, Frederick Douglass was walking earth.
Since Harriet Tubman.
Had a leather helmet.
I mean, so he's seen, right, exactly. So he's seen him when he was basically still drinking Similac. So he wants to pay homage in that sense. And plus it was a fly.
This is why legacy was important to him.
Yes.
This is why we bring experts on to keep me in line.
Yeah, keep you in line.
I stand correct.
I mean, it was a fly idea. I appreciate
it.
It
was real fur. I ain't mad at that. Watch out for Peter, though.
I mean, other than that.
We go from one of the best teams in the NFL, the Patriots, to one of the worst, the Washington team. Now, remember they were going to play Haskins, and they're not going to play Haskins. Then they fired the coach. They're not going to play Haskins. They're going to play Haskins. What do you think about Haskins' development in the nation's capital?
Well, one thing I do want to say is that when they played the Vikings and he threw that interception and everyone was like, "Oh my God, see, how can he miss that? First of all, let's keep this in check. Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and some of these rookie quarterbacks have all thrown interceptions with far more first-team reps. And the other thing is, if you actually go back to the replay of that play, there was a defender in front of him whose hand was high. He was trying to get it over that guy's hand, and it did touch his fingertips. I was arguing with a couple of people about this. So while it was high, and people were like, "Oh, that was uncatchable. It was uncatchable." No, I mean, there are wide receivers in the league who could have caught that ball. Was it perfect? No, but whatever. So my point is, I just feel like sometimes there is such a rush to criticize him in particular when it's obvious that his circumstance is so different from the Kyler Murrays and Daniel Jones who have been playing since preseason and have had way more snaps. Now, on the other hand, there's a however. I do believe that Haskins needs to do a little bit more in terms of his own preparation on his own time, not by my opinion, by some of the things that I hear. So even when you're not playing and you're not first and you're not the man right now like you are at Ohio State, you still have to make sure that when your number is called, you know the plays up and down, nothing is getting called wrong in the huddle, what have you. I'm not saying this and not saying this. I'm just saying the things that I hear is we could just do a little bit more preparation on our own time, and that's fine. You can get better, and there are people there that still believe in you.
So I always talk about the dysfunction in Washington. This offseason, they're going to be looking for a head coach. You just talked about them drafting a quarterback in the first round. They had in their building the last 10 years Kyle Shanahan,
Speak about it.
Matt LaFleur, and Sean McVay.
Who have all found a lot of success.
That has nothing to do with Haskins. What do you think going forward is going to be a remedy to try to turn their situation around?
I think you just illuminated an excellent point because Kyler Murray has Cliff Kingsbury, Daniel Jones has Pat Shurmur, but the actual quarterback development guru person is not now in Washington. So that is another point to kind of highlight there. And I don't know who they're going to bring in there that wants to be in that circumstances, given the front office dynamic, and also who, whether they believe in Dwayne Haskins or not, is going to want to work in that situation because obviously the owner wants this to work and you also have to believe in Dwayne. So I understand what you're saying and I think it's a very apt point, just like I feel like, what happened to him midseason is also unjust and something that has to be accounted for when you're talking about his development and how it's going.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.